is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. I did not mean to fool anybody when I posted the video, Black Americans Are Lazy. As a Black American, I would never co-sign that. I was pointing out the fact that that is a fallacy, that is a stereotype. I realize that there are people who believe that and people who want to believe that and people who are going to believe that regardless to what they're shown to the contrary. But Black Americans don't have anything to prove to anybody. Black Americans were brought to this country against their will. So why in the hell would you go to the other side of the world and bring shipload after shipload after shipload of lazy people to live in your backyard? But some people seem to have thought that I was going to validate the fact that Black Americans are lazy. But that is not true. That is a stereotype. And if you thought that I was going to do that, then you don't know anything about my channel. I'm a Black American, and I know the contributions that my people have made to this country, and I know our worth. So I would never try to validate a lie like that. But today is a little bit more lighthearted, and this time I'm talking about things white people get mad about years after the fact. There are some things in Black American history and culture that white people don't know about. And then when they find out about it, they decide that this is something that they need to get mad about. The first thing is Black History Month. Black History Month began in 1926. It was called Negro History Week at that time. In the segregated Black schools and our churches, we always observed Negro History Week. It was the time of year that we celebrated the achievements of Black Americans. People like Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, Mrs. Mary McLeod Bethune, A.G. Gaston, John H. Johnson, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, and of course Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. This was the first time that most of us came into contact with the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. We would have to learn that song during the week. So when we had our chapel program on that Friday of Negro History Week, we would sing that song in chapel and do recitals of poems and plays and just celebrate the history of Black people in America. Everything to do with Black American history was highlighted that week, and that was when we came to appreciate our history. So we celebrated Black American history among ourselves. Then along came President Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1976 and thought it was a good idea to extend it to Black History Month and that the whole nation would know about it and celebrate it. Now all of a sudden, white folk found out about Black History Month and they decided it was something for them to be upset about. They got mad about something that we had been doing for over 50 years. And they're still mad about it. They understand why we have to have Black History Month. Because we have to have Black History Month to talk about Black history. But that's one of the things that they got mad about after the fact. The second thing they got mad about was the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. We have been singing that song for 100 years. That's the song that we sing during Black History Month, during Negro History Week. Anytime we want to celebrate the accomplishments of Black Americans, we sing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, because it talks about our journey in the United States. The Star-Spangled Banner, which is considered America's national anthem, does not speak favorably about Black people, especially the second verse that everybody's so offended by. But the Black National Anthem speaks specifically to the trials, the journey, the inspirations and aspirations of Black Americans. So we've been singing that song for 100 years. And then maybe 2 years ago, James Clyburn, who was a congressman from South Carolina, suggested that they sing the Black National Anthem during the Super Bowl. And so they've been singing it ever since, and white people have been upset about it. But we've been singing that song all the time. The next thing that white people are mad about is Black Lives Matter. For whatever reason, they don't seem to know that black lives have always mattered to black people. So then when you say Black Lives Matter, they get mad and they say blue lives matter, all lives matter, women's lives matter. But that's not the point. The point is that black lives matter to black people, and black lives have always mattered to black people. And it's really, I'm not going to say it's sad, but it's really quite interesting that they would be upset about you saying that your life or the life of your people matters. And if we didn't see things like George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and Philando Castile, if we didn't see all those things happening and we were just out in the streets talking about Black Lives Matter, I could see why they would get upset about it. But we have a reason for stating that Black Lives Matter. So now they've taken Black Lives Matter and turned it into some kind of political boogeyman, so that when they say Black Lives Matter, it's just like saying that black people tore up every town in the United States, when that is really not the case. But this is triggering to them. And so the only way that they know how to show how much they don't like something is to turn it into a negative and make it into some big bad boogeyman. These right-wing politicians are actually running political campaigns against Black Lives Matter, trying to make their constituents think that Black Lives Matter is something that they need to be very afraid of, instead of a movement in which black people are bringing attention to the fact that black lives are being handled too carelessly in this society. And so that's one of the things that we could chalk up into the category of interesting. White people getting mad because black people say Black Lives Matter. Go figure. The next thing that they get mad about, that black people have been talking about since the slavery days ended, reparations. They are mad about it now because people are talking about it now. But black people have been talking about reparations and the 40 acres and a mule since slavery ended. Black people have been trying to get paid for the labor that was stolen from black people since slavery. But now that it's in the forefront and people are talking about it in mainstream media, they're mad about it. They are mad about reparations. For the reason that white people don't really quite understand black people, that would be one of the reasons why we need to open up the communications between white people and black people, not in a way that's going to gender animosity or anger, but just to say, these are the things that matter to us. These things are not meant to be offensive to you. They're not supposed to be any kind of subversion or of any type. We're not trying to overthrow the government. These are just things that matter to us. Black Lives Matter, reparations matter, the Black National Anthem matters, and Black History Month matters. Now, the actor Morgan Freeman has come out to say that he didn't believe in Black History Month. And after he got some pushback, he came back to add that we should have Black History Month the whole year. Well, we all agree with that, but we don't have that. So February is the month that we say we're going to dedicate to Black history. There has to be some middle ground. There has to be some grounds for negotiation where we can talk and we can express ourselves and convey who we are to each other without being mad. You shouldn't get mad because black people who had a different experience than white people want to express our experience in a song that speaks to us. It shouldn't be angering that we want to talk about the achievements of black people and not hide them or sweep them under the rug or pretend somebody else did it because it makes you feel bad. It shouldn't be a surprise that after all of these years in America and our family members worked for so long for little pay and we are at the bottom of everything, and there's a serious wealth gap between the people who were able to earn a living and be paid for their labor and those who were not. That shouldn't make you mad. And it should not be a surprise to anybody that people care about the people in their race. So we know that all lives matter. We know that. But when we're talking about black people and the things that are happening to black people, and we say Black Lives Matter, that should not make a white person mad. Because it's not about you. It's not about trying to make you mad. It's about letting you know that we care about our community and our young people, our family members, just like everybody, just like you do. There's nothing frightening or offensive about Black History Month. It's just an opportunity for black people to speak on the achievements and the accomplishments of black people in America, because those things are not taught in our schools. So this is just a way of saying this is who we are and this is what we've done. And there really should not be anything in there that will cause somebody to be mad. Black Lives Matter speaks for itself. Black lives matter. We don't want our people slaughtered in the streets over small things, getting killed over traffic violation. Reparations, we feel they're due. But we've never received them, and we're still living here peacefully. But that doesn't mean that we don't care about them, because we think we are due reparations based on our past history in America. And last but not least, the Black National Anthem at the end of the day is just a song. It doesn't talk about hurting anybody or taking from anybody. It doesn't speak about any of that. It says, lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise. High as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. There is nothing harmful about that song. So these are some things that I have noticed that white people get upset about black people, things that have been going on for a long time and they didn't even know about it, or it wasn't on their radar. And so as long as over there in the black community, they don't think anything about it. But once it hits the mainstream and attention is brought to it, then they seem to get upset about it. And this is just a sign that we have very poor communication in the United States, and that we don't understand each other well enough to be living in the same country together. And it's also a sign that maybe white people should pay a little bit closer attention to black people, because we are not all exactly alike. We have a different experience, we have different culture, we have different things that are important to us, and everybody should be able to express what's important to them without making the other group mad. And in this case, I'm talking about white Americans. We don't want to make them mad, I don't think. I know I don't. But Black lives do matter. Reparations matter. Black History Month matters. And the Black National Anthem, just like the Star-Spangled Banner, is hard to sing, but it matters to us. And we ought to be able to do that and have this conversation like civilized human beings. Okay, let me know what y'all think about this video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.